What's going on? We got another episode of Cynically Acute. We back with a new season. They can't stop us. They can never stop us. I'm your host, I'm here with
your co-host, comedian Lamont, on the new award-nominated motherfucking podcast.
Award-nominated podcast. Hey, man, matter of fact, speaking of the fact that we are nominated for the 9th annual Memphis Urban Labs Comedy Festival, shout out LaToya to Neil. Make sure y'all go to memphisurbanlabs.com, scroll down, and vote for us, Cynically Acute, for Best Podcast. We are also both nominated for Up-and-Coming Comedian. Also, I am nominated for Best TV Show, I think it is, Best TikTok Comedian, and Best Open Mic. And also make sure you vote Hot Tone for the Best Comedy Venue, because pretty much that got something to do with me, because ain't no comedy happening at Hot Tone without seeing me. You already know what's going on, man. We talking that stuff this season. We getting right into it. How you feeling, Lamar?
I'm feeling good. I'm sick of America. I'm tired of the election.
I'm
ready to leave.
To this day.
I'm way more grumpy than
to this day.
Last season, I was on that positive shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that positive shit.
Fuck that
I want my
positive
money. I'm ready to be an angry nigga for the bag.
Well, we can't both be grumpy. So I'm being positive today.
I got a head wrap. I'm allowed to be this way because that's what people expect from a Dr. Umar ass nigga.
Okay, man. So I'm gonna be the person that finds the silver linings today. Say no more. That's how we doing it. But let's get straight into it, man, because we was having an interesting conversation. Just recently, Cam Newton had a relationship coach on his podcast. I forgot what her name was, but essentially she was trying to have a conversation with Cam Newton because he has multiple baby mamas, and he was talking about wanting to spread his seed, wanting to have even more kids, but he felt like being married was more of a commitment, and she was trying to tell him that he's creating multiple broken homes by displaying this kind of behavior, creating kids with a bunch of other women. And what Cam Newton did in response was make a title to his podcast, 41-year-old relationship coach with no man gives Cam Newton relationship advice, which shows that he had nasty feelings towards whatever this woman was talking about. But my question today is, do you feel that, and this is a millionaire we're talking about, your Cam Newtons, your Nick Cannons, people who have kids with multiple women because they want to, keep their legacy going. Do you think that is inherently toxic to have kids and not plan to marry any of the mothers?
Hell no. And I'm pro-marriage. I'm married. But the problem with it, first of all, 41-year-old relationship coach with no man is crazy. You're wrong for that, Cam Newton. That's crazy as fuck.
It was crazy.
The fact that she is a relationship guru and she ain't got no man, that speaks to making money.
Mm-hmm.
But millionaires and billionaires don't know they fucking kids. The niggas that own Apple and all major CEOs do not know shit about Lil Dylan and Lil Cindy, and they don't know them. They getting raised by Guatemalan nannies and shit. It's because they're black and because they're black men that people want to put a negative narrative on them. That's what that is. Because if Nick Cannon would have been a white man, they would have been like, oh, that's just what they do. No, we got to stop holding black rich people to a higher standard than we hold white rich people. It's counterproductive.
I don't really know if I feel that, because if you look at the community, you can see how fatherlessness affects black men more than it affects any other culture of people.
Not rich black people.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What makes you say that?
What? Because rich black people don't have, first of all, they don't have the same problems. We talk about fatherless behavior. If say, like, let me think
T.I. son?
T.I. son, exactly.
Want to be gangsters?
But that's not fatherless behavior. They was at the house.
Well, word on the street is
married.
Word on the street is he was only the father on the reality TV show. They didn't really see that nigga a lot because he was on tour a lot, doing movies and whatnot.
Also, T.I. is a bad example because T.I. is a hood celebrity. T.I. is famous for toxicity.
So what you're saying is that as long as a young man comes from a background where he has a lot of money, it doesn't matter if the father is active in his life.
How active do you want a nigga to be that's a billionaire? How active, if a nigga's making millions of dollars, how active can he truly be?
See, but this is how T.I. son ends up being gangster for no reason. I just seen him the other day at an Airbnb partying turned up on that young nigga nonsense, which I just don't get. But it's something inherent in young black men to where they immediately want to display the signs of someone in the struggle. They want to be these drug dealer type guys. Because you can even look at a place like I went to Germantown High School. That's where I graduated from. And I was so shocked when I went to this school after having lived in South Memphis, having to drive an hour every morning and go to school in Mississippi because my mom didn't want me to go to Carver. And then I go to Germantown High School thinking I'm getting a better opportunity. And I see these young niggas acting like hood rats.
Good families, crash outs from good families.
And oftentimes it's because these young men don't really have father figures in their life. They raised by their mama. Not to say that single mothers are inherently not able to do their job, but young men, you need somebody to put their hands on you.
The funny thing about that is niggas grow out of that shit.
Do they?
I hang around a lot of motherfuckers who have successful parents. And from ages like 16 to 23, they act a motherfucking fool. Once they get to that age to where you almost mid-20s, their parents sit them down and have that conversation like, okay, you keep fucking up, you're going to be poor. What you want to do? All the white boys whose parents I knew was millionaires and billionaires, them niggas did cocaine. They was out here doing all types of shit. They was selling weed, selling dope. Where they at now that we almost 30? Them niggas married, working at their dad's firm. They put that shit down. They ain't stupid. You don't play them games for too long. That's what successful niggas do. Nick Cannon's kids are gonna wild out, and it's the same thing with T.I. son. T.I. son like fucking what, 16, 17, 18?
Something like that.
That nigga young as fuck. He not gonna be 25 doing that same shit.
He gotta make it to 25 though.
Nah, that nigga make it to 25. Ain't nobody sliding on T.I. son.
He got money.
That albino,
nigga slide on you for no reason.
Albino monkey nigga. That nigga would never slide on me. I'll slap that nigga face backwards.
You gotta think.
That's how I'm gonna get my clout. I'm gonna slap T.I. son. I'm like, you a part of the black community. That's what's wrong with you, nigga.
I don't know, man. I have a stark different opinion. Just because I see how fatherlessness affects people in general, and it permeates through the whole community. Because oftentimes, you know, sometimes I actually wish I grew up without a father because I feel like it's easy to operate because niggas with no father, they get to have all these excuses for their bad behavior. Nigga, I'm fighting demons, blah, 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 blah. But when you come from a good home, you don't really get to have these same issues.
What's your excuse? Unless you just had two bad parents. What's the excuse?
What you mean?
There's no excuse for bad behavior as an adult. Let's get that out the way right now. And I want to say that if you an adult and my parents did this, so I went through this, that's fine. Get the fuck over it. We grown. Move the fuck on.
Look, it's just the niggas with no fathers always have the same dealings with these people because I am a black man with glasses who tucks his shirt in. So automatically, niggas, I get all the Sam Jackson jokes. I get all this and that because I was raised to be a gentleman. I was raised to carry myself a certain way.
You a professional crash out. And I say that as a person that know you. You a professional crash out.
Nobody really has seen me crash out. I haven't crashed out since like 9th grade.
You the nigga that's a problem in the office.
What you mean?
you the black guy that people used to talk about in my office. And be like, oh yeah, you're such a nice black guy. You're not like dude on the 3rd floor who's always having political discussions and shit.
I don't even be having political discussions at work. I be chilling at work. I be real quiet.
But you'll do it in front of black people. Let niggas live.
What you mean?
Give nigga, I crash it every now and then. Probably like every 2-3 weeks, I start complaining about niggas. I can't do it constantly. That's a bleak outlook.
You just crashed out at the open mic. You was ready to fight niggas at the open mic.
Oh, I threaten to fight a nigga like once every 6 months, and I feel like that's a decent amount as a man. You got to threaten to slap a nigga at least once every 6 months. You got to make sure that you still got it.
Why?
Because why am I walking around being nice to these niggas? What have they done to deserve me being nice? I respect everybody, but being overly nice to a nigga, nah, fuck them.
I understand that because being nice to niggas can definitely be taken for granted. And put you in bad situations. And just to swivel back to the topic, one of the things that my dad taught me, one of the many lessons that my dad taught me, shout out to Rail Monger, was never lose a friend in order to win an argument. And that's just one of the seeds that was planted in my head. Because what happens in the black community is that you need your father to be the loudest voice in your ear because them niggas gonna be loud. Them hip-hop songs gonna be loud. These hoes gonna be loud. And oftentimes, especially in today's age where clout is the currency, you're gonna do whatever can get you to the clout and get you looked at a certain way. So if you don't actively have someone in your life who is mentoring you through being a man, you're just gonna be out here any kind of way.
I kind of.
That's why the niggas be bad fathers today. Because just speaking about Cam Newton, there's something inherent in men. I'm not gonna say black men just because I don't know a lot of white people. But there's something inherent in men where you can know a nigga for years and never know he had a kid.
Yeah, you don't know shit about that nigga.
But a black woman, you gonna know she had a kid for the first time you see her. Yeah, I had to get a babysitter. Yeah, I gotta do this for my child tomorrow. I gotta get her enrolled to school. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But niggas, they feel like, oh, as long as I'm hustling, as long as I'm getting this money, I can just be around my kids sometimes.
That's fair enough. I do hate seeing a nigga out and about and I know you got kids. What the fuck you doing? Nigga done been at every function this week. Nigga, you are a father. Take your ass to the crib, man.
Because being a father don't really mean nothing to niggas. That's why you have a situation like Cam Newton.
But when the money is important, because my father is an old school hood nigga. That nigga was out here jugging in the 80s and 90s. So most of the internal lessons that he taught me was about money and hoes. And I can use that sometimes when it comes to money. I'll be like, yeah, I gotta get this money. I gotta do that. But in a situation that requires, like male respectable attitude, I can't, like, when I'm in the office, I'm using things that I know from gained experience. Not, oh, this person just said this to me. What do I say back? Because if my father was the loudest nigga, man, I'd be like, I'll slap this nigga jaw loose. Who the fuck man think he talking to? But I can't do that. That's called discernment. Because if I was moving like my dad, I probably would have more clout in my life, but I definitely wouldn't be able to sit in the same rooms that I'm sitting in now.
Well, yeah, in terms of that, I guess it is better for him not to be the loudest voice in your ear.
And everybody's not chasing. I hate that, like, oh, everybody just clout chasing. No. Everybody knows the formula of clout that we need. We know that if you're willing to exploit your family, exploit yourself, embarrass yourself, or fuck with strangers, you can get rich and famous in a year. But people like to feel better than clout chasers, so nobody does that. Oh, I'm gonna get famous with my art. I'm gonna get famous with the craft. I'm gonna get famous doing this. Niggas ain't really ready to That's what people talk about. When people talk about sacrifice, that's the sacrifice they mean. It's not always sacrificing that small amount of integrity. Because we could be crash outs tomorrow on the internet, start going live at funerals, messing with senior citizens. We could do all that, and we'll get famous as fuck. But you don't want to do that.
But here's my thing with that, because we talk about clout chasing, we talk about, having low integrity, acting retarded on the internet. But here's my thing with that. A lot of the clout chasing that we see in its form today is literally just the fact that social media has started paying people. Once social media started paying people, we was never gonna turn around. Because hell, that's what constituted my last crash out is a nigga flexing Facebook followers on me.
That nigga said
a 50-year-old man. That nigga said. I told him, yeah, I had 50K followers on TikTok. Nigga say, oh, you only got 1,000 followers on Facebook. And I'm like, nigga, are we in high school? Nigga name what? Hig. What kind of name is that?
That's the argument people use against me, because I'm an amazing stand-up comedian. I'm arguably one of the funniest niggas in the tri-state area.
Facts.
But I have no clout. I got like 1,000 followers on Instagram. I got like 500 followers on Facebook. TikTok, a nigga got 30 followers. A nigga will be like, yeah, you funny, but shut the fuck up, nigga. You ain't got no motion.
You ain't shit.
And I'd be like, damn.
You ain't shit.
I can't say nothing back, but I'd be like,
Steve Brown,
that was so weird.
That was weird.
I'm beefing with old niggas. I ain't had no problem
He beefing with me off of it. Cause when the Hig nigga posted you, Steve Brown commented like, oh yeah, that nigga a bitch.
That's wild.
And I said that's lame. Nigga said, I know your father, so I'ma spare you right now. I slid in my DMs. But these
the grown people that we got now. Cause
these the grown people.
I told
these
my wife,
are the fathers.
I told my wife that. I said in 1989, a 40-year-old was born in 1949. That's a real black nigga. That's a real black man right there. 1949, you 40 years old in the 80s, you a real nigga. 40 in 2025, this nigga was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. These ain't real adults. We done lost the recipes. A 40-year-old man on the internet called me a bitch in front of regular people over followers.
At midnight.
At midnight, you up calling me a bitch.
In a Memphis comedy group.
Where your family at? What you doing?
Shout out to my nigga Steve Brown, though. He doing big things. Shout out to the Memphis Comedy Jam. Make sure y'all keep up with that. All I know is I better not ever do a show and a nigga give me an award to say thank you for being a part of my journey.
Thank you. You are an integral part of my journey. Thank you for being a part of what I got going. I said, this is a pretentious.
I said, nigga, am I a Boy Scout? What?
Man, Steve Brown, I'm not gonna
shout out Steve Brown, man. This is not about hating on a nigga. This is not about putting anybody on blast. This is about having real conversation.
Yeah, this is having real conversation.
And the biggest thing is a lot of the niggas who be doing all this Memphis comedy beef, we never see in real life.
Facts.
They're never around comedy. A nigga had the nerve to beef with me on the internet, squash the beef, and then come talk to me talking about, yeah, but we can still keep it going just for clout, just for, you know what I'm saying, just to get some more engagement online. We can keep the beef going. Mind you, he said this at Tony's Trophy Room at an establishment where I have a drink named after me. Nigga, you can come in here and get a Thailand's espresso. Your receipt's gonna say Thailand's espresso, and you want me to beef with you on Facebook for clout? It's levels.
Anybody who want to beef with a nigga in a head wrap, jump in my inbox, Lamont Jokes on Instagram. I'm beefing with niggas.
Niggas don't need to beef with you. You got a head wrap and you pay to watch Zeus Network. Nigga not gonna argue with you.
Zeus Network funny as hell, but if you a lady, we don't have to like openly beef. I'm not gonna call you out your name, but you could throw a drink on me in public and somebody can get it on camera. Cause I'm tired. I'm tired of working.
Don't say that because Nat gonna come beside your head with a Diet Coke.
No, Nat, I'm not white. You can't beat white woman allegations. I'll argue with any nigga. I'll argue with a black woman, a Guatemalan woman, a Chinese woman. I will never in America as a black man go toe to toe with no white woman. You'll end up in the pits of hell. A white bitch say white women are so powerful. A bitch could say that I stole some dragon scales. The police had a hand up my ass looking for pixie dust. I'm not fucking with white women. I never. That's kryptonite.
But what this makes me think about is how excited I am about the Memphis comedy scene. We got so many open mics now. We got so many shows. You got the Cove on Mondays.
Yep.
Canvas on Mondays, High Tone on Tuesdays. Make sure y'all go to the High Tone open mic on Tuesdays. The Premier Weekly Comedy Show. Don't get that shit twisted.
The Premier Weekly Comedy Show.
On Wednesdays, we got Madison's having Lamplighter. Shout out Jam Blossom. She got the Girls, Gays, and Days Mike. Let me tell you, I went to the
Brinson's is 3 on Wednesdays.
Oh yeah, Brinson's is free on Wednesdays. Make sure y'all go support my nigga Fat Man
like
on Wednesdays. We got hella mics. But I want to talk about the Girls, Gays, and Days Mike. Tell me why I tried to sign up on the Girls, Gays, and Days Mike. And I got told that I gotta say I suck dick on the mic.
Who said that?
Every time I go to the lamplighter, I get disrespected.
Yep.
Every time I step foot in the lamplighter. Let's talk about how we went to the lamplighter and niggas got mad at us for having jobs.
No,
talk about that.
He didn't get mad at us for having jobs. Number one, that dude's not the owner.
Fuck her.
That's number one. He's
Fuck
not
her.
the owner.
He a representative.
Yeah, he a representative. Number two, that nigga on hella cocaine. So he definitely wanted some money. A nigga yelled at us because we was in there talking about having a hard day at work. We had only been in there for 4 or 5 minutes. And we buy something every time we come. He was like, y'all got jobs? Y'all got jobs? Maybe y'all should fucking buy something. Now, mind you, we just walked in there. I'm like, nigga.
Just sat down.
Yeah, I was like, nigga, we gonna buy something.
Mind you, this place stinks, so nobody should want to put their mouth on anything in here, but we still do nonetheless just to support
y'all
local
got
talent.
outside drinks. My outside drink was a bottle of water. Because it'll be a cold day in hell before I drink Midtown water. Cold day in hell. I'll never drink some water from the lamplighter. Cold day in hell before I drink that
Speak
water.
on that.
This day.
And they are
To this day.
They not racist, but they don't like black people.
To this
like
day.
Here's why they don't like niggas, and I realized this because I was sitting outside one day and a group of black people walked in. They said, "God damn, it's stinking here," and they walked out and they clowned the smell in there for like 10 minutes. I was like, "Yeah, that'll piss me off. If this is my place, I know it's stinking here, but have some couth."
But not only he came over there and said that to us, but then. Since we're bypassing all formalities, I have a question. Why isn't there any soap in here? Cut lost it. Went and grabbed a bottle of hand sanitizer, slammed it on the table. We have plenty of blah, 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 blah. First of all, very unprofessional of you, sir. Very unprofessional. But then you really think that hand sanitizer can replace soap? This was what's wrong with Midtown.
I'm gonna say this about pink people. The pink people, the internet is the worst thing that could have happened to y'all on this hygiene shit. Because we used to just assume they was dirty. Now they going on the internet and they proudly proclaiming that they dirty. Joe Rogan was like, "Oh, washcloths are for poor people," and I was like, "I knew that nigga stank. Then the two bitches, "Oh my God, why would I ever use a washcloth? I just use my hand. Washing your ass with your hand is crazy."
It's crazy. But that's how they living, bro. But shout out to the Lamplighter. They, you know what I'm saying, they be having local talent there. You know, you gotta respect it. You give a space where local talent can thrive.
Gay people
but they don't
need to
like
buy that
niggas.
motherfucker.
They banned John Miller, they banned KP, they let a tranny call rip a nigger in broad daylight, and Shawty just pull up on the bike every week because she knows she good in that hood. And then they went off on us. Shout out to the Lamplighter though. Let them cook. This is my thing. I feel like Memphis comedy is in such a great place right now, but there's so much underlying beef because a lot of people never see each other. So it's a lot of people just going around like, I don't think they like me. I don't think they like me. I don't think I'm accepted here. But then you go in that room and in that space with those people and it's just regular. And there's so much power in having an open mic and an establishment, and there is a guaranteed 20 comedians there who are all going to buy drinks because comedians love to drink. We love to just hang out and spend money on ridiculous stuff. But oftentimes, there's not enough of the well-needed tribalism that we need in comedy. We need everybody to represent their hood.
It's going well. We got niggas pulling up the hot tone. We got niggas pulling up the urban consequences. Urban consequences.
Shout out Urban Consequences popping every Friday.
Yes.
Every Friday.
And it took
popping.
a minute because it was a couple of weeks where they were like, oh, we only got 3 comedians. And so now it's up. Tuesday, niggas pull up on Tuesdays. We need
hot tone open mic on Tuesdays.
We need to get more niggas to Brinson's on Wednesdays. And then the 2 mics that's about to pop off, we need to get more niggas there.
Shout out Nico the man. Shout out Wild Bill.
Shout out nigga man. And Wild Bill talk about giving niggas money. I said, oh, I'm about to tear this motherfucker up.
Shout out Tony's Trophy Room on Sundays. That's where I'm finna go tonight on 901 Day. Shout out 901 Day.
That's a good redneck bar. Shout out 901 Day.
Shout out 901 Day. Shout out to all the women out there with deep voices who parallel park with one hand and
745
and bet on
95 degrees.
Hey, shout out Glorilla, man.
Shout out Glorilla.
Cropped out with some biker shorts. I'm showing off my moose knuckle. No. I said that wrong. Cropped out with some biker shorts. I'm showing off my moose knuckle.
I know for a fact Shawty can make the hell out of some pork chops and spaghetti because you know that's the Memphis combo.
Come on now.
Pork chops and spaghetti.
Come on now. Shout out to Gorilla. I knew she was gonna pop off when she said my pocket's large. I'm eating good. I'm feeling like a fat hoe. I knew she was gonna pop off.
That was a good one. That's a bar.
That's bars.
I
love, just in the spirit of 901 Day, we've been sitting here talking about Memphis comedy. Just shout out Memphis, period. I feel like Memphis has so much great stuff. Shout out to my guys.
The most beautiful land in the world.
Shout out to my guys. Shout out to Stoneheart Conglomerate. You know what I'm saying? Go follow my guys. Every last one of them. Shout out Unapologetic. I just went to an Unapologetic show. Shout out Nubia Yasin. Shout out Kid Maestro. And special shout out to Elo. I went to this show at Bar Don't Know Don't Tell. That's Bar DKDC over in Cooper Young. And Elo went on stage. I don't think you never met Elo.
No. But
let me tell you. So the only time I saw him perform, he was doing a mouth trumpet. He was doing a trumpet with his mouth type shit. And he played a guitar and he sing. And before he went up, my nigga Dope, shout out to Dope, DXPE. Go listen to that new single, It's Hot Outside. Go listen to that EP Pleasantries. I be treating this shit like the Source Awards.
Oh God, I don't know none of these people.
You gotta shout niggas out on your platform. A big shout out to Elo because when he went up, my nigga asked me, he said, hey, do he rap? I say, nah, he sing. And he played a mouth trumpet. And he played guitar. Tell me why the first thing this nigga got to do when he got on the mic is rapping. The nigga said, mind you, this is a outwardly nerdy appearing young man. And I heard that nigga say, something. Now he laying underground like Root. I said, "Damn, you burying niggas, Elo?
Putting niggas in the dirt."
That was a great show. He knocked the socks off. But just back to Memphis. So many great things happening here. So many great things happening in Memphis comedy. We just need more niggas pop off, and we need everybody to be more consistent. That's why we doing this Cynically Acute podcast. We getting this back going. We got so much in the backlogs that I ain't never edit.
We got 6 episodes. This nigga ain't dropped yet.
I'm lazy.
6 episodes. The nigga ain't dropped yet.
I don't give a damn.
That's because he don't need clout. There's 50,000 follower on TikTok. I'm the nigga with no clout.
Day.
Come on, man. Follow me on TikTok. TYLONMONGER.
To this
Follow me on
day.
anything. One name like Oprah. Fuck you, me.
Lamont
Fuck a
Jokes.
last name.
But yeah, the next topic that I wanted to talk about, you talk. We kind of got on it, but you talk about how clout is worse than crack.
Clout is worse than crack.
And I remember we were having a conversation about how social media pays people and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Do the ends justify the means? Because you like the young lady Zen Within who makes these ridiculous ass mukbangs in her car.
Shout out to Zen Within. I want to do like a side by side in the car because that food be looking popping, man. I don't know. The bitch be ordering from everywhere. The bitch be having the best looking food. But the ends do justify the means. You only got one life to live. And I was talking to some bitches in Atlanta who had just tried out for Bad Girls Club because we was there for the comedy festival, the 1865 Comedy Festival.
Shout out to the aunties. And
I was like, well, and then a dude was going off. He's like, yeah, that's the problem with these bitches with the long hair. All they want to do is shake ass and drink liquor. Them bitches had real jobs. They was fucking med techs and they was stripping on the side, like getting all this money and still wanting to do this. And I was like, well, what's the point of doing all that? They was just like, well, you only got one life. You can choose either you're gonna be rich or you're gonna be broke. How fast do you want to be rich? Like when a motherfucker break it down to a science like that, that lets immediately in my mind, I was like, okay, that's why I'm not rich. I ain't got that dog in me. So where a motherfucker be like, hell yeah, I'll fight on national TV for money. Hell yeah, I'll go prank my grandparents and ask them are they prostitutes. I don't have that.
Why is it only niggas who
white people do it too?
What shows do white people do that?
Jackass, nigga. Jackass started this shit. Let's talk about how white people started
no. Well, they was pranking each other.
No. they weren't just pranking each other. Them niggas was acting a fool on every possible way. Them niggas was pranking each other, getting hit by bulls, shoving cars up their ass, fucking stapling their nuts to their thigh, motherfucking blowing up porta potties. Them niggas. And they had 3 full-length movies, 2 TV shows, doing high on cocaine, high on whippets. And they put them niggas in theaters and on major television networks. That's what started that shit. This is before reality TV. This is before VH1, before Basketball Wives. And niggas, and not even just niggas, but I'm saying like people in general saw it and it was like, damn, if I act a motherfucking fool, if I show my ass, I can get this money. And half them jackass niggas dead now. Shout out Bam Margera. I appreciate you for being sober. I just went and saw CKY over here at Growlers, but y'all fucked up the culture. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all fucked up America. We used to be a real country. We used to have a decorum about ourselves as Americans. But no, that's where shit started.
You see, and here's my thing with this stuff. I feel that when it comes to art, when it comes to promoting yourself, oftentimes you have to degrade yourself in order to really be moved up in the algorithm. You kind of have to whore yourself off, whether it's by displaying a certain amount of ignorance or, exploiting a certain amount of sex appeal. But I feel that that's permeating culture and it's getting to the point where even in the arts, everything is starting to be watered down. Because you look at rap music. When's the last time we cared about a nigga's talent? We like Ice Spice.
Yeah.
We like
Ice Spice? Niggas you like Ice Spice?
Niggas love Ice Spice. Ice Spice got some hits too. But
Ice Spice got some hits?
Ice Spice got some hits. Hold on.
I can't tell you one song about the bitch. I know the one that's you thought I was helium? That nigga munch. Father boy eat it for lunch. Eat it for lunch? That bitch speak Arabic, don't it? I don't know shit about Ice Spice. Ain't that the one that I just did?
No.
Nah, garbage. Shout out Scarlip, keeping it real for rap, for female rap music.
Shout out Scarlip, but
shout out Chica. Shout out motherfucking shout out Renema. Shout out all them.
But the reason I bring up Ice Spice is because you can often feel jaded when you have a certain love for art and you see how the culture is just getting raped. Because, say for instance, I love Drewski. I think Drewski's a very funny guy. But oftentimes it's like when you're driving in traffic and you're trying to get off on this exit, and so you drive a little off the median so you can get off the exit, but everybody sees you, and then they just start driving off the median and then heading into traffic, and now you have a jam. So with a nigga like Drewski, with a niggas like 85 South Show, it starts to rape the culture of what stand-up comedy is. Because now niggas just getting on stage and roasting the audience and making fun of people. I saw Drewski at the Orpheum, mind you. He sold that hoe out. He was selling shows all over America, had like a 6-month-long tour. But what he was doing was not stand-up comedy. He had Nav Green come open for him. And when Drewski came up, all he did was verbally berate and demean anybody who so much as got on this talent show. The first nigga who came up was a local artist named Gold Perms. The nigga came up there with a skateboard, did a kickflip, landed the kickflip, and started rapping. Before he could even get into his shit, Juicy said, "Get that nigga out of here."
That was talented as fuck, though.
mind you, that was funny. It was funny to see, but you're doing this under the guise of like giving people a platform, but you're not really giving anyone a platform. You're just using these people to promote yourself.
Oh yeah,
and so that's what I keep seeing at a lot of comedy. Like I hate when I go to I hate going to the laugh my ass off, funny as fuck comedy show. Come have a good time, and then the host or a comedian gets up, and you can tell this nigga doesn't really have a lot of prepared material. He's just roasting people in the audience.
Okay, I'm gonna say this: roasting niggas. There's nothing wrong with that. But y'all need to have y'all on shows. Please, y'all need to have y'all own roasting nigga shows. Show up to get roasted, roast each other. Stop inviting real stand-up comedians. I hate saying that, but stop inviting regular stand-up comedians.
No, real stand-up comedians. We gotta start. This is my thing. And
we gotta start standing on business. We gotta start bullying niggas out of stand-up comedy.
And this is why I brought up the raping of the culture, because it gets to the point where there is no longer a pure respect for the art form, because niggas just follow whoever got the clout.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Stand-up comedy, back in the day.
I don't like the fact that there's a Memphis comedy group that just got niggas with skits. I don't like the fact that the Memphis Urban Laughs Comedy Festival...
No, the problem is Back in the day, if you was famous, you wrote a book. And shit like that. Now they don't have to do that because they want live ticket sales. So now every famous person who is famous for social media, they're an influencer, they an actress, they do music. Now they can all just go do stand-up comedy. That shit done turned into a truck stop for niggas to get quick cash.
Hold on,
When they go on social media.
because I know what's been going on.
We gotta start heckling these niggas.
The roasting niggas, just have y'all on shows. Cause inviting real stand-up comedians to where we gotta and then we can visibly see you making people uncomfortable because everybody's fucking laughing at them. It's a fact. We call for 5 minutes after she done paid $20, $30 to get in this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is embarrassing. That shit is garbage. All this crowd work and shit. Calm down. It's fine to do all that, but tell some fucking jokes. Shit, pay us, nigga. We need money. I'll write a whole hour for you niggas. I swear to God.
Here's where the issue lies, because I had a little bit of comedy beef a month or two ago, straight off the strength of I didn't allow a nigga to jump in front of the open mic list. But what people don't understand about open mics is that it's a very volatile situation, especially when you have a room full of people, because oftentimes, especially at a show people paid for, they want a show. They don't want a nigga to come up there just spitballing, trying to figure out how to do comedy. And what happens is you tell a nigga, nah, you can't skip up because a nigga ain't paid his dues, and he don't really, you don't really have full faith in the product. And now you're a gatekeeper because you didn't allow someone a platform. And we're seeing the same thing happen with Don't Tell Comedy. You're seeing people say, oh, why don't more comedians go up at Don't Tell Comedy, blah, blah, blah. When Memphis comedians are often known as coming up there with no material, coming up there talking about I'm high, coming up there looking at their notes.
That's not just Memphis. Because we're not going to do Memphis like that. That's not just Memphis.
It's not just Memphis, but you have to be honest. There isn't a culture built here of professional stand-up comedy.
Yes, there is. The problem with comedy is and this is a byproduct of the social media niggas and everybody else doing comedy. We got so many comedians that are coming into the game that just be like, oh, I'm funny, I can do stand-up comedy. They're not learning the art, they're just doing it. That's not the case predominantly in Memphis, because shit, go to fucking Atlanta and see how many unfunny ass comedians you see that are just like, oh, no. But that's not but the problem is, number one, if you ain't been on TV, if you ain't just released a special, if you ain't been doing comedy 15, 20 years, if you're not rich, you're not finna bump the list. So don't get mad that you can't bump the list and another nigga do bump the list. Nigga, D-Ray Davis. Mm-hmm. I was sliding to a venue because it was open mic. D-Ray Davis. And I was like, okay, cool, bet. He's like, nah, D-Ray Davis here and he on stage. I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not going. Because this nigga finna go up there and practice for his next special or for his next headliner too. I'm not finna show up and a nigga finna take up an hour worth of 5-minute slots. That's fine though. I appreciate it. A nigga told me that's wrong.
Niggas told me I was dick riding because Henry Coleman can walk in and say one or two more and then me at an open mic. But they don't understand the fact that like right now, tonight, this nigga's finna perform at the YouTube Theater in Hollywood, and this nigga regularly performs at some of the biggest comedy clubs in America. But because the culture is being raped in the way that it is, and people have, especially, I hate Facebook. The only reason I'm on Facebook is because I do comedy. Facebook has created a world where you have so many of your direct family members supporting you that people feel as if this is the real world and that should happen everywhere. You hear people say all the time, support, support, support. Niggas don't want to support me. Niggas don't want to support me. Nigga, you are nobody. No, who supports anyone?
Nobody.
Like, who has made a successful career based off of people supporting them because it was the right thing to do?
People support who's already made it. So that's the key.
And support who they want to support.
Henry Coleman been in the show business for like 25, 30 years.
Nigga been headlining for 24 years.
That nigga was on Yo Mama. That's how long Henry Coleman been doing comedy. That nigga was on Yo Mama.
Come on now.
But that's the problem. A lot of these niggas who people think just because people calling Henry Coleman an up and coming comedian. So that's people. If people are now seeing you on social media, they feel like you just started popping. Matt Rife. That's the best new nigga that just came out. Matt Rife been doing comedy 15 years. Theo Von famous now. That nigga was on The Real World in 2001.
Facts.
These niggas have been doing this. Comedy takes a long time. And now that niggas are finally getting their flowers via social media because social media has validated them, that doesn't mean that they didn't put in the work. I'm 10 years away from being worth a damn in stand-up comedy.
Henry Coleman better win Comedian of the Year.
I mean, it doesn't matter if he wins.
It don't matter if he wins.
He got clout.
It don't matter if he wins because he got clout. But I just feel that Shout out Latoya Tennille. Shout out RP the Comedy Joint. Shout out to the ninth annual Memphis Urban Labs Comedy Festival. But this is a great opportunity to really build what the culture is supposed to be in stand-up comedy. You should not be able to jump on stages and eat a dick and be allowed to come back, or if someone pats you on the back and be like, hey, you did a good job. Because hell, we hear about this stuff all the time. I'm not going to say names because I feel like this is a sensitive subject, but a nigga will book you for a show, see you bomb, tell everybody else about how they not going to book you because you didn't do well, but don't say nothing to you. And niggas don't have an open conversation about this shit because people are so sensitive.
Oh yeah,
you cannot tell a nigga he not funny. You cannot tell a nigga
be ready to fight.
Like, yo,
and I stopped doing that
because it's just like comedy is just like hooping. Like, bruh, if I'm getting buckets and you not, I'm gonna let you know, hey, let him shoot. He with us.
But you can only do that with your friends. Like me and Juju Rashad, we came up doing comedy together. And if one of us bombed after the show, we'd be like, nigga, what the fuck was that? That was ass. That was garbage. Nigga, you better not touch a mic for at least a week until you talk to Jesus and get your shit together. You can't do that with everybody that you're not close to, because then it's gonna come off like you hating or like you bullying or something like that. Even now, if somebody asks me, hey, how was that? Because that's what people do now. I don't project my opinion. They're like, hey, Lamont, what you think about that? And I do it in the most professional, nice way possible. I was like, well, I would have done it like this, or maybe next time try this or this. I don't make no jokes about it. Because then a motherfucker come back, oh, motherfucker said this about me, said this about me. If I didn't ever say some shit that you thought was mean in stand-up comedy, that means I consider you a friend. And
you are a bit of an asshole.
Nah, I don't give a fuck.
That's how I met you.
That nigga blaming me for being mean to people, and I don't do that.
You be mean to people. I literally remember the first time I really performed in front of you. I was like, damn, Lamont's in the front row. I gotta be funny, because you are a nigga that's going to be very loud about shit that you don't find funny. You like to ruffle feathers, but that's good for the culture. I like to see you talk about stand-up comedy. I like what you offer just as far as the competitive nature and also keeping the culture together. But I also realize that some niggas don't have the same goal, especially like Midtown niggas. There's a big difference between Midtown comedy and just comedy in general. But it's crazy because Midtown comedy is where most of the comedy happens.
But like I said, it's not about comedy. It's not about none of this. It's about the clout and it's about the money. Because I can say anything I want about stand-up comedy, and niggas be like, yeah, but that nigga broke. Fuck that nigga, he broke.
White people don't even care about clout.
Oh, no. They just care. Speaking of clout, we need a reality show. Because this nigga talk shit about Zeus. But Zeus trafficking hoes across state lines and trafficking them out the country. And them bitches getting paid. They paying the shit out them bitches. They in danger. And we going to see a documentary about Zeus in the next 5 years.
Surviving Zeus.
Surviving baddies. Because them bitches are victims. But they are well-paid victims.
They're well-paid victims.
They well-paid victims. I'm trying to put together a Memphis reality show right now. And I think I'm going to do it sort of the same way.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
And that's exactly what that. Somebody will pull out a gun. I want it to be like the same way Jocelyn Hernandez had them hoes in the house. I was gonna take them to a city.
You want to have Le Mans Cabaret?
Exactly. We gonna go out of town at a city. I'm gonna rent an Airbnb for 2-3 days. I'm gonna film 8 episodes in 3 days. And then y'all better talk shit about each other. I'm gonna give them free Casamigos and no food, and then see what happens.
Free Casamigos, no food.
Man, them bitches be having chips. It don't be shit in the fridge, but like mixers, like orange juice and shit. Like it's a crazy thing to watch. That's what, because I be studying and I was like, this shit popular as fuck. And it's high level trafficking. Then she be having these bitches rolling up dope in illegal states. Like they did, when that Baddie South, they was going through Texas, them hoes outside rolling up fat ass backwoods. I'm like, bitch, weed illegal in Texas. these committing crimes, talking to pimps. These bitches committing crimes on national television.
Crossing state lines each episode.
Exactly. And then there's a producer nigga with glasses who they said was like, I don't know what they call it, extorting hoes for the pussy. What they call it, extorting hoes? He was coercing bitches.
Coercing.
Like, oh, you want to be famous, bitch? You suck this dick. And they was like, he did that. That's gonna be a part of it too, because he a short nerdy nigga with glasses and a hat. I don't know what your name is. Stan, you're wrong, and they're gonna talk about you. It's also a big bitch who always got the Zeus hoodie on. They got a bunch of it's the same niggas on every show that work for Zeus. It's a weird culture. Like that shit gonna crumble eventually, and I can't wait till it do. But I talk a lot of shit. But Zeus, put me on your show.
This nigga pay to watch Zeus Network.
I did pay. It's $8 a month.
Get this nigga out the game.
Fuck that. I'm trying to be one of their reunion hosts. They be like, no, don't be. They be having a little card. Don't be the ass. Don't kick her. Sharkeisha, don't kick in the face.
Ooh, I forgot that did happen. Somebody got drop kicked. Somebody literally lifted up and kicked.
Man, that's how Krishan Rock got famous.
Yeah,
because the music garbage. But she beat a bitch into a sink. She beat one bitch up so bad she shit on herself. It is like watching
foolishness.
Yeah, it's like watching gladiator shit. But that's what it is. That's why humans have that innate shit in them to where we want to see tragedy happen. That's why reality TV and shit like that is so popular.
I need next podcast. I need the sound when it be like, kick that nigga bitch off the plane. Just because that's how I be feeling about a lot of shit. I feel like I low key wish I was around when folks was getting called niggers because it gave you a reason to not be a nigger. That's why niggas was wearing 3-piece suits. As soon as folks stopped getting called niggas, that's when niggas start wearing bell bottoms and crop tops and feeling themselves too much.
That was
and
the time to be alive.
That's the culture we dealing with today.
I wish I would have been doing comedy in the 70s. I would have had
I kissed the motherfucker, yeah, but
that's fucking wild. But like I said, the shit is clout is very important. But there's no way to change the narrative behind clout. You can either get with it. I think it's like selling dope, no lie.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to get in, embarrass yourself for a little bit, then take your money and then flip it and then be a legitimate professional. Don't be like Natalie Nunn. Like Natalie Nunn, damn near 50 years old, baby.
Strong chin ass.
Baby, go home. Baby, go home. You're tired. Your BBL done flipped around to the front. Just go home. You done fought enough hoes. You done made enough hoes fight. It's time to retire and get what do bitches get when they retire? Now get you a line of lashes. Yeah, get you a line of lashes. Get your own tequila brand.
A line of lashes, a little juice spot. You know what I'm saying?
Get you a DAC shop, a daiquiri bar.
Get some embroidered, like some embroidered jackets, maybe.
But Natalie Nunn did get Orlando Brown out of jail. Zeus got Orlando Brown out of jail, and that was the first episode. They picked that nigga up from jail and paid his bond at all cash. And there's a scene where Orlando Brown crying like a freed slave. He was like, man, they thought Orlando Brown was crazy and Zeus came and got your boy out of jail. They was trying to lock me up in a mental institution. And then they had Raz B on there. That shit was funny. Shout out to Raz B. I don't know what it is you do. I don't know if you're making single albums without B2K around, but shout out to you for still being alive. Because a lot of pop stars dead. We still got B2K alive. I think the niggas from B5 alive.
Shout out B2K alive. I'm sorry I got molested like that. I don't rock with molestation.
I kissed the motherfucker, yeah, but
I do think all thugs got molested though. Shout out Henry Coleman.
Shout out Henry Coleman.
I am, because I know what's been going on.
And then what the funny thing about that is though, these niggas still running around fucking Quincy Jones, motherfucking L.A. Reid. Once you get a certain level of famous in the black community, they don't care what you do. And that's scary.
All right.
That's scary. Shout out Quincy Jones though for the culture. You a nasty nigga, but shout out to you.
How much time we got, Cassius? How deep we in? 43 minutes. That's good.
Cool.
That's good.
This has been Cynically Acute. Thank y'all for sitting with us. Thank y'all for hearing us.
This day. To this day. To this day.
Yeah, man. I feel like this is a productive episode. I was very excited to talk about Memphis comedy. I was very excited to talk about fatherlessness in the community. I think this was a good day. You want to leave us with anything, Lamont?
Enough has been said to save the world. Drink enough water. Use a washcloth. And always, always, always wash your meat. I don't care what white people say. Put some lime and some baking soda on that shit. Have a good one.
Have a good one, man. I keep 6 dimes with me at every function. I almost got $1. I told one I got a project to pat that. That's why I pop my collar. And isn't it ironic I keep my morals checked? When you ought to know I'm Atlantis about these hoes, trying to see where Morris at.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the
This
knife.
new album, Nigga with Glasses, coming out soon. Appreciate y'all for being with us.